If you've recently applied for a credit card and been rejected, you're not alone.
You once had your credit card declined.
A recent survey showed that nearly 1 in 5 millennials aged between 24 and 39 have been denied a credit card within the last year. And the worst part is, you don't get told any specific reason why.
Why?
So in this video, I'm going to answer that question, why do credit card applications get rejected, by sharing 10 of the main reasons people get denied, in the hopes that you can use them to make sure it doesn't happen again to you in the future. If that sounds good, hit the like button to help support the channel, and let's get right into it, starting with the least impactful, working our way down to the most impactful reasons. Number 10 on the list of reasons you could have been denied a credit card is that you're not on the electoral roll. The electoral roll, or the electoral register, is a government list that records the names and addresses of everyone who's registered to vote. Credit card providers typically use this electoral roll to verify your identity when you make an application. So making sure that you're registered on it helps them to verify you more easily. If you're not on the electoral roll, you can easily sort this by going to the government's Register to Vote website and signing up in about 5 minutes. Making a mistake on your application is one that seems so simple, but it's something that catches a lot of people out.
I've made a huge mistake.
Some credit card applications can be quite lengthy and ask for a lot of information. So even a small mistake such as the wrong name or wrong address could be enough for the lender to refuse you credit. This is why it's so important to thoroughly check your application over before you submit it and correct any mistakes, no matter how small they may seem. Next on the list is your employment history. Credit card providers take into account your current employment status as well as your past employment history. Both of these are factors in their decision making. If you change jobs frequently or you're simply not earning enough, the lender may think that you're going to struggle to make your repayments, and so they see you as a high risk applicant. Also, you could be self-employed and your income fluctuates month on month. This could also be high risk from the lender's point of view because there may be months that you can't make your repayments. Now, I'm not saying you should go and change your employment status just to get a credit card, but having a good number of consecutive months where you earn a consistent income will look good in a lender's eyes and reduce your risk to them, meaning you have a better chance of being accepted for the credit card. Number 7 on the list of reasons why credit card applications get rejected is mistakes on your credit report.
I made a huge tiny mistake.
A recent study found that 1 in 5 people had an error on their credit file and didn't even know about it. An error on your credit file could be anything from a missed address to a false record of missed payments, or even a credit product fraudulently taken out in your name. Any of these could hinder your credit card application. So it's so important that you register with a credit reference agency, something like Experian, to check your credit file and make sure it's accurate. If you notice something on there that could have been your fault, maybe a wrong address, you can sort that directly through the credit reference agency. If there's an error on your report due to the lender making a mistake, for example, a false report of a missed payment, you should contact them immediately and ask them to remove this from your credit file. If they don't, or you're having trouble with them, again, you can go straight to the credit reference agency to get them to help you out. If you've applied for credit with someone else in the past, like a joint bank account, a mortgage, or even some utility bills, you may have a financial connection recorded with them on your credit report. That means even if you're now applying for new credit on your own, a lender may still look at your financial connections credit history and take that into account when processing your application. So even if you don't see or speak to them anymore, if they've got a poor credit history, that could affect your new applications for credit. You can check if you have a financial connection to somebody by logging into your credit reference agency website. If you see that you do have a financial connection with someone and you think they may have a bad credit rating which could be affecting you, you can help both of you out at the same time by sending them the link to this video on how to improve your credit score in 30 days. Some people think that never using any type of credit or debt is a good thing because it shows you're not relying on credit to get by. But the truth is, if you haven't taken out any credit in the past, or you rarely do so, your credit history will be thin. This means credit providers won't have any history on you, like your repayment history or your credit utilization, to see if you're going to be a high risk or a low risk applicant. So they're more likely to just reject your application. It's important that you strike a balance between borrowing, proving that you can borrow money and then repay it, and staying in control of your finances. If you're new to credit, maybe you could start with something like a mobile phone contract, or you can watch this video here for the top 5 beginner credit cards in the UK in 2021. Number 4 is a mistake that a lot of people that are new to credit cards make, and that's making a lot of applications in a short amount of time, hoping that one of them will accept you. This just isn't a good thing to do. When you make an application for a credit card, the lender will do what's called a hard search, and this leaves a footprint on your credit file. Other lenders can see these hard searches, so having a large number of them in a short amount of time may indicate to them that you're financially overstretched and you're trying to rely on credit to get by, meaning there's a high chance that you may struggle to make the repayments, and so they won't want to lend to you at all. So if you apply for a credit card and you get denied, it's important that you take the time to look at why this may have happened and try and resolve that issue, rather than just applying for more and more in a short amount of time, which is simply just making the situation worse. The next possible reason for credit card applications getting rejected is large existing debt. You could be turned down if you have a high amount of existing debt, even if you have an excellent credit score with a good repayment history. And this could all come down to something called credit utilization. Credit utilization takes a look at the total amount of credit you're currently using divided by the total amount of credit you have available to yourself. So for example, if you have a credit card that has a limit of £1,000, but you currently have a balance of £750 on it, then your credit utilization will currently be 75%. So you may be thinking, what's a good credit utilization rate? Well, in an ideal world, it's best to keep your credit utilization down to below 30%. If that's not possible, you should at least aim to keep it under 50%. Anything over 50% is likely to be flagged up on your credit file, and a credit utilization over 75% will definitely be flagged up. Number 2 on the list, and certainly one of the most common, it probably won't come as a surprise, but it's having a bad repayment history on your credit report.
Sure, I'll just put it on my credit card. I'm never going to pay it back anyway.
This can be anything from missed or late payments, all the way through to bankruptcy, CCJs, defaults, or more. Credit card providers simply want to know that if they lend money to you, they're highly likely to get it repaid back in the future. But if you have a bad history of not making repayments on your credit file, they'll just see you as high risk, and so you're likely to be refused credit if you apply. Things like bankruptcies and CCJs could actually stay on your credit file for around 7 years. So it's really important that you manage and budget your finances to make sure something like this doesn't happen, because it could have an effect on you for years to come and definitely affects your ability to get credit. And the number one reason for why credit card applications get denied is simply your credit score is too low. Now this could be one, or it could be a combination of things that I've mentioned in this video that's causing your credit score to be so low. So it's important that you go through each one to make sure that they're not having an effect on your credit score. Doing this will give you the best chance of being accepted for a credit card in the future. If you want to learn how to improve your credit score in just 30 days, click on this video here, or you can find more videos on credit cards above. Please give the video a like if you found it useful, and subscribe if you're new. And also don't forget to check out Freetrade for a free share worth anywhere between £2 to £200 when you sign up using the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.